everyone, I'm Ruby and welcome back to Pierced Owl. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you never ever miss a new video or an update from us. Today we'll be discussing the dreaded piercing rejection. Though this is infrequent and pretty unlikely to happen, it can and does still happen to piercings. Rejection occurs when the body views the jewelry as a foreign object, so it attempts to push it out to the surface. In this video, we'll go over what exactly rejection is, how to recognize it, and the steps you can take if it happens to you. Let's get started. First, let's go over what exactly piercing rejection is. Rejection occurs when the body views the piercing jewelry as a threat and works to expel it, moving the jewelry closer to the surface over time. While this is possible with any piercing, surface piercings like eyebrow, belly, or dermals are more prone to rejection. This is due to the shallow tissue of the piercing area. There are also a few additional factors that can contribute to piercing rejection. These factors include poor jewelry quality or non-biocompatible materials. Low quality jewelry, even in healed piercings, can cause the body to expel that jewelry out. Additionally, excessive movement or trauma to the piercing area can cause that piercing to reject. Think of a really bad snag or tear that can trigger rejection. Also, improperly fitted jewelry can lead to rejection. Jewelry that is too tight or too small or even too thin can slice its way to the surface of the skin. Okay, so now that we know what exactly rejection is, let's go over the signs of rejection. Catching the signs of rejection early on is key to minimizing the damage that can occur, like scarring. Here are some symptoms and signs to look for. First thing you'll probably notice if your piercing is rejecting is that the jewelry looks like it's moving closer to the surface, because it is. Notice that your jewelry is sitting shallower than it had before. This may be a sign of migration or rejection. Another sign can be thinning of the skin between the piercing and the surface. So this would look like the skin that's holding the jewelry becoming progressively thinner as rejection occurs. Another sign may be redness, peeling, or scar-like tissue forming. These signs alone, redness, irritation bumps, aren't always a sign of rejection, and most of the times they aren't a sign of rejection. But if you do see these signs along with thinning of the skin or your jewelry going closer to the surface, all of those together can mean that your piercing is rejecting. Furthermore, an increase in discomfort and pain around the piercing area after the initial healing period could indicate a problem. Those are the signs of piercing rejection. So what do you do if you think your piercing is rejecting? Let's talk about it. The first step is obviously visiting a trusted and certified piercer so that they can check out the piercing and let you know if it looks like it is rejecting or not. From there, these are the steps that most likely they will suggest. First, removing the jewelry safely. If you're certain that the piercing is rejecting, removing the jewelry can help avoid further damage like scarring. Again, consult a professional piercer before any removal to confirm the situation and discuss further steps. After removing the jewelry, avoid reinserting the jewelry into that piercing. Once the piercing is retired, leave it alone. Reinserting the jewelry may cause further trauma to the area. Once the piercing is out, you'll want to care for the wound. Clean gently with saline solution and also just leave the area alone. Okay, so those are the steps that you'll take if your piercing is rejecting. So now let's discuss how to prevent piercing rejection. Piercing rejection is a really valid concern and one of the kind of worst case scenarios that can happen from a piercing, especially a beloved one. Being pierced by a professional and a skilled piercer is one of the biggest forms of prevention. But let's go over some additional tips to consider. First, choose high quality jewelry. Opt for materials like titanium, surgical steel, and gold that are less likely to cause a reaction. Next, choose a skilled piercer. Proper placement can reduce risk and reduce tension on the skin and improve healing outcomes. Next, follow aftercare instructions. Clean your piercing regularly with saline solution and avoid touching unnecessarily. Finally, be aware of pressure and movement around your piercing. Avoid snagging on clothing or exposing it to undue pressure. Well, there you have it, all about piercing rejection. If you like this video and want more content from us, subscribe to our channel. You can also follow our Instagram and TikTok at Pierced Owl for even more videos about piercings and jewelry. Thanks for watching our video. See you next time.